Hello, my name is Dr. Jackie Gilson. I'm the school psychologist at Robinson School, and this is a presentation for parents on the social and emotional development of elementary school age students. This is actually a presentation that I gave to parents last month in October of 2024, and we've decided to make these presentations available to our parents through a YouTube channel. And in that way, you can access it when it's most convenient to you. A few words about myself. This is my second year at Robinson, and it's actually my 31st year as a school psychologist. I've served in both urban and suburban schools and have worked with students ages 3 to 22. I'm so grateful to be able to serve the students and families here at Robinson, and I'm very grateful to administration for giving me this opportunity. So for this presentation, I'll be talking about a theory of individual psychosocial development. There'll be a video that we'll be accessing on YouTube, and then I'll talk more specifically about ways that your elementary school age child is developing and ways that you can support them at home. A really key point to start with is to keep in mind that as parents and guardians, you are the experts on your child. As school administrators, teachers, educators, we will never be experts on your child. What we do bring to the table, however, is we are experts on what is typical in particular grades. So, based on our general knowledge of what is typical, what is to be expected, and your very specific knowledge on your child, we can make a very good team. Now to the content. There are many different theories of the ways that human beings develop. I thought it would be really useful to lean into this one theory that was offered by Erik Erikson. He was a researcher that lived 100 years ago, and in the 1900s, he became very influential in describing human development in terms of different stages or conflicts that occur at different stages of life. And basically, as you make it through each of these stages and conflicts, if you successfully navigate them, your chances of having a productive personality, strong relationships, a good standard of life is more likely than if you were to really struggle and have difficulties with various stages. The video I'm about to show you will go into that in greater detail. So with no further ado, here is the video.
Hello there and welcome to the Mr. Sin channel. Today we are going to be reviewing Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development. Erikson identified 8 stages of development that people go through during their life. Each stage is categorized by different needs, conflicts, and life events. As individuals progress through the different stages, they continue to be influenced by the previous stages. The first stage is trust versus mistrust, which generally occurs during the first year of life. Here, an infant is learning to trust the world. In order for the infant to develop trust, the infant needs to be shown affection and feel safe and secure. All of this helps the infant develop a secure attachment. If a person does not receive these things in this stage, it may lead to an insecure attachment to form and lead the infant to mistrust their surroundings. As the child moves from infancy to early childhood, they move into the next stage, which is autonomy versus shame and doubt. This is when children start to be able to separate items in their environment. They understand what is theirs and what is someone else's. During this stage, a child starts to develop independence. Children during this stage want to explore their environment and have control over aspects of life. Life events during this stage would include things such as potty training. Positive reinforcement here is key. Children are exploring the world in which they live in and trying to understand who they are. Parents during this stage play a major role. Supporting a child in their search for autonomy allows the child to develop self-confidence and independence. However, if positive reinforcement is not provided and a child is not allowed to try tasks on their own, they may develop shame and doubt. As children get older and move more into their preschool years, they go into the next stage, which is initiative versus guilt. Here, children begin to take initiative and plan activities. Children during this stage want to learn and be social. Children begin to take initiative and plan activities, their imagination takes off, and they start to partake in independent activities. It's important that in this stage that a child be allowed to have control over some aspects of life. This will help a child develop confidence and autonomy. If a child's efforts to be more social and independent are met with harsh criticism or prevented, it may weaken a child's confidence and cause the child to question themselves on whether or not they can do different things. From there, we move into our next stage, which is industry versus inferiority. In this stage, children develop a sense of competence and self-esteem through mastering different skills. School is one of the most important events during this stage. Children start to make more of their own decisions and grapple with the concept of good and bad. Individuals during this stage will also start to identify with different social factors, such as the type of clothes they are wearing, the jobs their parents have, and so forth. During this stage, it's common for children to start to compare themselves with other children, and it's important that children receive constructive feedback. As a child moves into middle and high school, they move into the next stage, which is identity versus role confusion. Here, an individual notices that people have different interests and social roles. Peer groups become extremely important during this stage, and individuals will often seek friendships. During this stage, individuals will often conform to their friendships, and roles start to solidify as people start to try and figure out their place in the world. Role models and peer groups become extremely important during this stage, as individuals will often look outward for validation. Now, it is common in this stage to experience an identity crisis, as individuals try to understand what their beliefs, values, and future goals are. After identity versus role confusion, an individual moves into the next stage, which is intimacy versus isolation. Here, young adults seek meaningful relationships with others, find something they are passionate about, and pursue a career. Significant life events during this stage may include advancing in one's career, starting a business, getting married, or starting a family. Being able to successfully navigate this stage often leads to more intimate, lasting relationships and a feeling of purpose. But if an individual is not able to find something they are passionate about, they may feel isolated and disconnected from society. Eventually, an individual moves into generativity versus stagnation. This generally happens in a person's 40s. Here, an individual seeks to make a positive impact on the next generation, oftentimes through work, parenting, or community involvement. The people at work and at home are often the ones who have the greatest influence on an individual during this stage. If an individual does not feel like they have a purpose, or if they were unable to resolve different conflicts from previous stages, they may become pessimistic about the world and feel stuck in life. Individuals who feel stuck may start to feel hopelessness or question what they're doing with their life. This could lead to an individual doing a big life change, such as changing careers or making a big purchase. This is sometimes referenced as a midlife crisis. The last stage is integrity versus despair. Here, individuals will reflect on their lives. What happens in this stage really depends on the previous stages. Individuals who will reflect on life and feel a sense of integrity, a sense of fulfillment, and acceptance of life as a whole will often feel like they had a purpose in their life. On the other hand, individuals who experience despair may feel regret, bitterness, and sadness as they feel like they have not done enough with their life. Individuals that develop a sense of integrity often are able to cope with the concept of death more easily, as they will feel like they have lived a full life. Conversely, individuals who have developed a sense of despair may struggle more with the concept of death, feeling like they have not lived life to the fullest. We can see that Erik Erikson's different stages of development continue to build through an individual's life. As people grow older, the stages become more complex and integrated with each other. Every stage has a conflict, and while we all experience life from our own lens and will experience life events on our own time, we can use these stages to better understand different transitions and milestones people may go through in their lives. All right, that was just a quick summary of Erik Erikson's stages of development. Remember, if you found value in this video, consider subscribing and check out my ultimate review packet if
Okay, so that was a review of all of Erikson's various stages across
Hello
the
there, and welcome
lifespan.
to the Mr.
Next, I thought that we could zero in on the elementary school years. If we remember from the video, this stage was called industry, or building things versus inferiority, feeling like you're incapable of creating a life of your own. The key things to keep in mind is that this is when children develop a sense of competence and take pride in the things that they can do. It's very important that children at this stage are encouraged. It's very important to provide support to them and not just celebrate when they win or get an A or have great success, but to encourage the effort that they put towards the things that they're doing. And it's also very normal for children to start comparing themselves, their abilities, their families to others. Very normal, because they're sizing themselves up, which is the first stage towards becoming an individual and finding your place in society. So there are things that parents can do to help children in this stage. As I said a moment ago, encourage your child's efforts and achievements in various activities, such as the work that they do or the activities they do outside of school. Celebrate the successes they've made, no matter how small, and support their child's competence by allowing children to take on appropriate challenges and responsibilities, and support their independence in the way that's appropriate for them. And always try to maintain open communication with your children. It's going to be very important throughout their lifespan, but particularly in childhood and adolescence, that children feel like they have trusted adults at school and at home that they can go to for guidance. Just a few slides that I thought would be kind of reasonable and helpful to share. I love this quote by Michael Jordan that he said, "I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I can't accept not trying." To the point, bringing home the point that it's really important to celebrate effort rather than necessarily success. And another really great one is Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb in the last century, famously had 10,000 prototypes of the light bulb that did not work. And he was quoted as saying that he has not failed. He simply found 10,000 ways that won't work to build the light bulb. So every single failure was necessary and important because it said what didn't work, which serves as much purpose as finding out what does work. So with that said, I wanted to share with you 4 takeaways to keep in mind. The first is how important it is to model emotional expression to your child, to demonstrate that all emotions are healthy and normal. The goal is not to be happy all the time, but to actually experience a full spectrum of emotions. And when you're feeling whatever it is you're feeling, it's okay to express to your child why you're feeling the things that you're feeling. It's very important for children to not only feel a vast array of feelings, but also to be able to name them and understand them, that any feeling that you feel is simply giving you some direction of where to go and what decisions to make. Encourage your child to play and interact with other children. It's critically important because it's in those moments of play and interaction in school and at home that they develop social skills, they learn to cooperate, share, and resolve conflicts. And also critically important that you're able to listen actively to your child. Children know if you're listening to them, if you're able to face them square, to make eye contact with them, provide full attention, maybe repeat back things that they're saying so that they understand that you're hearing them, and also to validate or agree with whatever it is they're feeling, they're entitled to feel. That helps them build trust in you and builds on the relationship between parent and child. And finally, it's critically important to establish routines in the home, establish a schedule that has time for family, relaxation, getting chores done. It helps children feel safe when they're in a predictable home that has routines that they can rely on daily. So with that said, that's the first presentation. Again, my name is Dr. Jackie Gilson. I'm the psychologist at Robinson. The best way to reach me is at my district email, gilsonj@lions103.org. Look forward to hearing back from some or all of you if you have any questions or just to provide some feedback about this presentation. Thanks again for your time.